Hello. Greetings. Whoops. Welcome to the eclipse. I'm not outside to see it. Other people are probably outside looking at it. Good. That's good. Obviously they're not going to go into detail where things are going future-wise. It's always going to be vague. This would be a robot takeover of the planet, kind of one happening already, at least a clone version of it. But yeah, positive vibrations coming through, new timelines opening up this week. And those that felt life wasn't going for them at any time, you never know. Doors might start opening. Still, it takes a while to open those doors, but there's definitely a lot of timeline changes for a lot of people. That happens all the time. It feels like it's a little bit more recently. That doesn't mean those timeline changes are for the best, but either way, I don't know. I'm waiting for a timeline to die. I got a timeline that won't go away. At least one of them, at least. But that's okay. Still have my day job. Still have. It'd be nice if that got cut off, but I guess not. Cats are here somewhere. They've been sleeping a lot recently. Until I started doing something and Fruitsy's running around like she lost her mind. Then we go to the time traveler and the elf realm. Elf people. I mean, just the elves alone, that would make you can do. I mean, Avatar, those are elf type people, and they have pointy ears. The elf realms are definitely Orion realms. I mean, there are different realms, but one of them is an Orion realm. You know, as we go into our awakening, it's funny. If the world ever goes into some kind of awakening, you go into this higher vibration, and it's like, okay, now what? Then we shut ourselves down and go start over again. Yeah, looking forward to that. We start, we say, hey, look, now we have all this knowledge. We can remember everything. Okay, now what? Now we start forgetting everything again. So, what's the hurry, right? What's the hurry for an ascension? So, let's put that out there. I imagine people don't want to hear that, but it's true. So giving the secret space stuff a little bit of a break. Not that anybody cares. Some people might care. It might not be as exciting as others out there, but doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Yeah, I was going to go into that. Not now. Yeah, military hardware. I was going to look through some of that. Not a whole lot of new stuff, military-wise. They're hiding a bunch of stuff nowadays, so that's what they call it, Black Ops. Something will come through eventually. The lunar is a great awakening for many. In some ways, it's kind of like a 2012, a miniature version of it, of an awakening, the dawn of a new era. Yeah, it doesn't mean that. We'll see. Yeah, so this week, another odd week of this whole month is not normal. So still not normal. Still hasn't figured out whatever normal is. It's doing stuff in the background. So let's just put it that way. It's an oddball out. Let's see here. It's Avatar.com, wait for our sessions. You have a scheduler, we have a shop. I forget where I'm at right now. I'm somewhere. I'm in May somewhere. Same situation here with webinar. We have a social network and behind the scenes. And the elf people. This looks like an Orion being. You don't mess with these guys. Look at that. Where's their movie? Jeez. Yeah, it can get welcome to your awakening. We're getting there. Like I said, as soon as we start awakening to everything, we'll probably shut ourselves back down. It's like, look, now we have the ascension, everything is perfect. We got it all straightened out. No crime, no anything. Now what? We'll just go back into Nowhereville. Another thing, I'm working on a channeled book, another one. It's going to come through like book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, and then I'll put it all in a big book down the line. So it might be just a big waste of time for some people. It's not normal, but I'm gonna put it out there anyway. So it just needs to be released. It's not gonna be forever. It's kind of like a Gnostic, kind of a mythology type of thing. So when we're all gone, for the next 1,000 years, 10,000 years for this world to ascend, so we can go back to this again. Frizzy just bit me. So, all right. I know people don't want to hear that. It's like, we go to the ascension, we go to the 6th dimension, 7th dimension, everything's perfect, everything's great. Everybody smells good. We don't have to eat anymore. Everybody's beautiful. And we all stand around looking at ourselves. Okay, now what? I keep saying that, but it's true. It's like the third time I've said that. It's like, I guess we'll have to dumb ourselves down and do this all over again. Well, we'll just find a world to pulverize and, so, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. So, all right. And enough of that, saying that 5 times fast. All right, we're going into the lunar eclipse. Yeah, Fritzy's here biting my foot. Jeez. Stop that. Okay. All right, here we go. Lunar eclipse, time traveler, and elf people. Okay, here we go. Blessings. Stop that. Greetings. We are the energies of the lunar eclipse. The idea is to bring positive vibrations to you, the humans. Good luck, but also bad luck for those that need bad luck. We are part of the ascension frequencies. Those that wish to ascend, some of you might feel like you're ascending faster than you were before. Feel like your energies are speeding up and doing 20 things at once. So it is part of the ascension of you doing a lot of things. And those of you that are taking your time, is you're part of an ascension, just a slower version of it, meaning that some of you are speeding things up so you can go into the astral realm and return back into the spirit world. So yeah, some people that have this health issue, like they have like a decent life overall, then have a health issue. It also means that was a possible exit point, especially those that almost had a near-death experience. So you basically, as you go into ascension frequencies, you'll be able to identify it more clearly. But the ascension vibration that's happening at this time, yes, it's healing the earth. It's giving the earth a bit of a vacation, maybe not a full vacation, but it's giving portions of a vacation where the negativity that once was heavy has lightened itself throughout the week. And of course, it all depends on you how long you want to keep that frequency going. Obviously, many like chaos. There are people that come from chaos dimensions that come here and cause chaos. It's just that they feed off of it. They can't let it go. It's like that's their whole purpose in life, as some of you can see. And yeah, you incarnate into that chaos vibration to heal. It's like you're incarnating into a storm. Some just thrive off of it. They can't let it go, as you can see. But it does help you become a more peaceful person. So you can say in some ways that's a reflection of your old self, where you had a chaotic timelines. of yourself. As the cat is sitting over there looking at us. So in this transition you're going through is unraveling yourselves on a deeper level. Just basically you're able to dissect reality a little bit more clear, connect to the moon's frequency of basically this is kind of like you don't need the moon as much as you have it at this time. You can basically release it from your incarnation cycle. It's not time yet for it. But some of you might actually get a glimpse of the future where there is no more moon. The moon is basically, you can say, a Saturn moon that's holding on to your planet currently. And of course, there's a lot of healing phases that are happening on the planet at this time. There's a paradise frequency that's connected to many of you. And it's possible, it depends on what you're giving. You're dealt the many cards of how peaceful you want to feel and where you want to go. So it's just, yes, some do live off of their looks and enjoy it while it lasts. Depends on how you use your looks. I know that came out of nowhere, but something that needs to be said. Some that live off their looks, some of them, some of you can notice that. It's going to be just one reveal after the other. Hardcore reveals. Maybe not in a negative way, but just becoming more aware of how the world operates, how it's placed, put together, and everything. But basically, many of you are turning your frequencies to more of a higher vibration for others, but also yourself. But realize also those challenges that are necessary. So you might be at a higher frequency this week, but other weeks you turn that high frequency down because you're still here to learn. So it's kind of like vacation for the mind, you can say. It's happening currently. For some of you, some are on vacation all the time. Thing is, when you're on vacation all the time, reality will find itself to you eventually. Of course, many are trying to distort reality, make reality theirs, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just a lot of growing up. A lot of souls are doing too. A lot of souls that are currently very childish in this reality are just used to the higher frequencies. They don't have to grow up in the higher realms. So that's the reason why a lot of people don't want to go into the higher realms, because they don't want to be a kid again. They want to be an adult. And because they're in the higher frequencies all the time, it can get kind of... you can be in the higher frequencies and an adult at the same time. But it's funny, you can talk to a 1,000-year-old person or a trillion-old person, and they're like 5. Look at a little 5-year-old. So, that's one aspect of it. So, blessings. Greets you. We are time travelers. Of course, from your future, but we also connect to your past. We come to this earth, realize we don't have to have an incarnation here, but we can connect to your time. If we come from the future, we can go to your past and live life with you, and call it an incarnation, even if we're not from your reality. Well, we're from a future reality, so that's close enough to a reality. But we don't have to reincarnate into your third dimension reality. Well, we live among you, so we adapt to your frequencies, and we can get poked and all of that and feel the pain of it, but we still have a way of shifting our vibration back to the future. You don't always need to have technologies to do so. And some of you are time traveling beings that just, maybe haven't had the full activation of it, but there's a time traveling frequency that's within your DNA. And you brought that here to bring part of an awakening for others to realize of their frequencies, or just to look at things differently from a time traveler's perspective. Many just rather incarnate as a time traveler overall. It's just like that's their thing. They don't want to be anything else. I mean, yes, they can have a regular job and fit in, but still have a time traveler theme. As many of you have a spiritual theme, some of you have a carpenter theme, and so on. So, of course, cats have a cat theme, canines have a cat canine thing. Of course, some canines have a cat theme too, because some of them are canines, some of them are cats incarnate as a dog. Of course, vice versa. As some of you probably noticed that. And of course, also with canine being, some of you actually had your children. Like if you didn't have children, but you wanted children, a lot of those children is incarnate as animals. So like your cat or dog is your kid. Well, that was going to be your kid in the physical realm. If you have a goldfish, that goldfish could have been one of your children too, and so on. So they give you another perspective of how that works. I don't believe that's been explained to you that often or ever at all. So yeah, if you have an animal around you and you wanted kids, but he's like, yeah, I don't think I can have kids in this realm, which is understandable. So your kids are with you actually in animal form. So they give you a different perspective of that. So they might be four-legged kids, but they're easy to take care of for the most part. Not always, but usually, they're easier to train or train you, whatever comes first. Usually they're training you at the same time, actually. You think you're the boss of the household, think again. Even some dictators in your past have been animals. Without going into full detail of that, they don't want to reveal that, but a lot of those have been part of World War II, incarnate as canine beings just to chill out, have fun, and not have to be a human. So a lot of those have had war lifetimes incarnate. And to give you another aspect of the animals that incarnate here, some go through human, they go to animal, they incarnate as an animal, then they go incarnate as a human again, then back to an animal, and they go back and forth on that. So there have been cows, chickens, whatever it might be. You'd be surprised, like, wow, that chicken survived the slaughterhouse, and now that chicken's somebody's friend. That's unusual. Not exactly. Of course, I know this is a sensitive subject matter, but chickens that go through the slaughterhouses, some of them have been through war, and they're used to it. Meaning they have not quite healed being killed yet. So some of them come from Africa, World War II. Some of them have been through this. Some souls just they incarnate to where they get shot at or killed in that regard. It's a reincarnation process. It's a karmic energy that they have not quite healed yet. Even with the human trafficking, it's the same situation there. They just incarnate as human trafficker, being trafficked. Some become traffickers because they become so good at it. They've been through it for such a long time and become traffickers, and eventually they might start pulling themselves out of that. Eventually. But they become good at it. When you've been trafficked as a kid and you over and over again, and then you find a way to break free of it, then you become a trafficker. It's an addiction. It's hard to heal. So it's another reason why this world is, the duration continues, why this world still exists. There's so many timelines. It's like one of the reasons why the world retracts backwards, like it goes back to the 70s, because there's still souls that have not healed, themselves at a certain level. Like you want to ascend, move forward, but so many souls here are just not ready for that. So school takes a break. You can still ascend, but the school kind of paused. You might say the elites have something to do with it, and you can say that's true, but also it basically comes down to the human collective. And it's just a complicated, you don't have to connect to it very often, just focus on your situation. You might call it manipulation, why the elites are doing it, and that could depends on your perspective of it. We'll just leave you with that. But those of you that are busy in this reality, you're busy also in the astral realms. So those of you that aren't that busy in this physical realm, sometimes they're too busy in the astral realm. So you come here to rest. So yeah, it's like, man, my life is really mundane, but in the astral realm, you feel like you're doing everything. Yeah, you can be doing 10,000 things at once. You don't really want to know. Grease you. We are the elf people. Greetings. Yes, we are. You are sisters, family, brothers of us, cousins. Some of us are married. Some of us are married to you. You don't remember for reasons. Yes, your moon, your blood moon, is activated to uh, for reasons, for agendas. Some of you are here to unlock yourself. Some of you are actually going to go into a more shadow side of yourself. That's why you came here, to see a more darker side of you. Doesn't mean you have to go rob banks or anything like that, but just to see the shadow side. It's difficult to see the shadow in the higher dimensions, as some of you might know. So some of you are sent here actually by your galactic parents to be part of this. Yes, you might have spirit guides that are just horrible. And some of those are in-laws. I mean, you might have in-laws here as in-laws, but you can also have those same in-laws as spirit guides around you too, telling you what to do 24 hours a day. I mean, they're going to sit there and do that until you figure it out. Now, sometimes they're for the best, sometimes they are not. But the elf realms, the Agarthan realm, realize, yes, we're a sister, a cousin of your reality. We're not allowed to be seen here in your realm. Some of you that can tap into nature very well as an elf person. If you connect to nature in all levels, you're an elf being, most likely. It's not always going to show itself what reasons for that. But yes, you're talking to the trees, you're talking to the sky. Those are all family members in the long run. Mother Earth might not be talking to you because it's like just concentrate on your reality. Leave me alone. Mother Earth doesn't always appear in Agarthan. Sometimes she does. She can appear as a sorceress, a wizard type of frequency. She chooses. Sometimes she appears as a dragon being. Sometimes she talks to the trees. She appears as a tree person. It's different aspects of her that may tap into. Mother Earth can also be seen as a fairy godmother, making things happen. So Mother Earth plays a big role in helping your timeline. Some of you feel like you have shackles on your timeline. Well, it's done on purpose because, like, Mother Earth says, well, I need you at where you are. So, and you agreed upon it astrally. You even wrote it with a pen. It might be an astral pen, but you signed the contract. Doesn't mean it's you're there forever, but it's like, what if you're here to help a soul, ascend, and the soul is old, like meaning like in age, like 80 years old. It's like you're helping them live out their life, whatever they're there to achieve, and they've been helping you in previous lifetimes. And it's a difficult incarnation cycle. Because would that person ever leave this world or let you go free? Now that person can set you free from your contract. Sometimes I realize, and this isn't speaking to everybody. Everybody has this, but some people do. So it's or like in a marriage, like you turned off the contract, but your partner might not have, and so you're kind of stuck in certain situations. Breaking those contracts are not easy. Same thing with a work situation. Your contract with the Earth. Mother Earth you signed that with, and you can talk to Mother Earth all day long with that. Obviously, many extend their contracts here. Those have had pretty decent lifetimes. Obviously, those of you are going through a great deal of suffering. It's like, can I negotiate my contract and get out of here? And you'd be surprised how many of you are doing that in Astral. It's like, but why am I here for this long? What's the point in that? You'd be surprised how many of you are doing that in Astral. You're in the Astral court. It's like, do I need to be here for another 10 years? I mean, what for exactly? I don't care about the stock market. You'd be surprised. And some of you actually get granted an early exit point. That would be the right way to do it. Others don't do it the right way because they get tired. You get tired of waiting, and then they end their lives. And that doesn't go very well because a person that ends their life too soon, the family is like in crisis mode, as you can imagine. So they're kind of haunted by that for the rest of their lives, in this life and in future lifetimes. You might incarnate a person in their life sooner. You incarnate as a bird or a kid of theirs or some kind of situation. Usually there's a dark frequency around them for obvious reasons. There are some demonic beings that do commit suicide here. and they're as happy as you can get. They're always healed. Well, of course, a demon's healed. Of course. I mean, this is their world, isn't it? But some of you have been in the early stages of this earth, opening up these dark realms, but shutting them down. Of course, some would open up these demonic realms and then leave it open forever. And now you have the world that you have today. Like some portals cannot be shut once they're open. And some of you might start remembering, especially around the Atlantean times. Of course, Babylonians did it also. Certain ones that had the power to do so. But the Atlanteans opened up so many dark portals here. They didn't realize what they were doing, especially with their minds. They weren't controlling their minds very well in the later times of their lives. The Lemurians knew what they were getting themselves into, but the Atlanteans didn't care. They wanted more knowledge. They were losing their powers due to the manipulations. So, because Atlanteans kept getting manipulated by all kinds of beings. So they're starting to lose their powers. So they bring in the pyramids and then open up dark portals with the pyramids. They got one later on. And of course, then things get even worse instead of getting better, because they open up the darker portal to get magic and powers. And that happens for a while, but then things don't go very well. So that's why you have the lessons of your world today. It's because of demonic energies that are here that are lost, that are trapped here. A lot of them are Atlantean beings. A lot of your demons are Atlantean beings. Not all of them, but quite a few of them are. And you're here to heal through their problems. So your lessons are learning through their lessons. You're just learning it through them, with them. It gets really confusing. Watching dwell on that one for a while. Sending you harmonic energies, connections to the kings of Agartha, kings, queens, the royalty family that do care about your society. Many of the Agarthan beings of the royal families do care about your world. No, they don't want to be worshipped or anything like that. They just want well-being for society. Your reality, obviously, royalty wants you to worship them. As some of you might notice, they might not say that, but they want it. And, there's a lot of life extensions going on with the royalty on your planet. Of course, Bill Gates thinks he's royalty, but it's kind of turning into sludge at this point. But as an elf frequency, yes, that is like one of the more intense memories of, connecting to, it can be the most positive, but also be the most intense. Like you want to be there instead of here. And you feel that's not perfect in the Agarthan realms, which it is not. It's not like here, but we're kind of imprisoned there to a certain level, but we still have more freedom than you do in this reality. At least we're aware of the aliens. We're aware of a lot of things. Your world is still, many of you are aware, but most are not. Fear. Well, you weren't taught by kids about portals and magic and aliens, and you weren't taught all those things. They were taught religion and how to be scared. And you're here to heal that. Well, some are just gonna be afraid forever, and you're here to help that but you can't help them. You can't let that drag you down. But you'd be surprised how many are in fear. They build churches with fear. Your fear of the underworld. Well, they want to see darkness within themselves yet. Because some of them have pretty decent lives in the underworld, and they don't want to show people that. Right, what's this?